when we look at something like a SOC 2, right? Everybody's asking me, do you have SOC 2, right? And for those of us in the space, we would say sort of industry average for a SOC 2 assessment. Whether or not I agree that's the right thing or not, whatever, though, keep that out. You know my opinions on that. Like 20 grand and up. So
Yeah.
$20,000 spot check over a period of either 90 days or 60 days or whatever, right? So there's a spot check, for lack of better terms. Maybe it's a 1 year, who knows? And maybe you redo it every year, who knows? But it's 20 grand or up.
Yeah.
Find that scope, right? But when we look at like a CompTIA and we look at the Trustmark program, it's not a $20,000 nugget today, right? It's an affordable method for us as small MSPs to be able to back up and say, we know what we're doing, and CompTIA thinks so too.
Well,
Right?
and I think it's important to note that just because the cost to a CompTIA member, say for a fully assessed, I think is $2,500. So once you've gone through the whole program and you're annually renewing, the actual cost is being absorbed.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
So my MSP today, I can get a CompTIA, I can go through the process, and I can get sort of level one, kind of IG 1, 2, 3. I can get that for $2,500.
So if you were to do a spot check and you wanted to do the self-assessment first, so
Okay.
you have a window of 2 years out of the gate to get through to fully assess, because we know that, and kind of to who was it that said, the smaller MSP, yes, it's an annual thing. And so we don't want in the year one for someone to go, there's no way I can get all of this done in 1 year. That's okay. Take the first year, and what would happen is you would get a Trustmark in progress image, where so in that first year you could do what we call the self-attestation, which still has an assessor looking. They're going to spot check, make sure you've got documentation looking like it should, as opposed to like, yeah. And
documentation.
Yeah, documentation. And I think that comes out to oh man, I'm totally drawing a blank right now. It's $1,450, I think. So there's a 250. What's that?
$1,400? All right. So let's just.
So let me clarify the cost real quick, just so we're all on the same page. Application is $250. That gets you stood up in the program, and that gets applied towards your, whether you do fully attested in the first year or you do self-attestation. And then, so if someone said, hey, I'm going to do this all in 1 year, but I want to get spot checked before I continue, you could spend upwards of $4,000 in year one. I don't think that's the norm, but regardless. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. And so here's the thing that I think you also need to know is that CompTIA is absorbing the real cost of going through and having someone do the assessing, right? Like, we're not saying we're reducing the assessment down to $2,500 so MSPs can afford it. No, we're saying that CompTIA is helping absorb the actual cost so that the smaller MSPs can actually afford to do this.
There's, much like CIS, there's levels of implementation and levels of attestation. I love that word, but a lot of people don't know what that means. Levels of, I hate to say, certification. That first level is you going through the program yourself and getting spot checked along the way, right? So that's good, right?
Right.
Then, like I hate to boast, like my MSP that's been FedRAMP moderate for years, like, no, we're just going full bore because we know we're ready to go because we've been living and breathing it for 17 years.